everyone. We are XCarbon, and this is our annual report. I am Anthony Genovese. I'm the VP of Sales Management and also the VP of Manufacturing.
I'm Julian Craig. I'm the overall president and the VP of marketing.
I'm Brady Anderson. I'm the VP of Accounting and Finance and the VP of Business Analytics.
All right, well, we'll get started with an overview of our business plan that we created for quarter 1 through 3 and our tactical plan for quarters 4 through 6. So as for achievement and growth, we met nearly all of our quarter 1 through 3 goals. Our long-term goal being becoming the most profitable firm by prioritizing recreation and speed bikes segments. And we exceeded financial projections due to our increase in demand. As for market performance, our projected demand was 6,000 units by quarter 6, with an actual demand of over 11,000 units. Our market share was 28%, which was the highest in the industry by quarter 6, but we did still miss over 50% of our potential sales due to stockouts. As for productivity, we had 90% overall worker productivity, including 2 hours of overtime per quarter. And we were the second most productive firm, just behind Empower Cycles, one of our top competitors. Our investments in the environment and employee compensation seemed to pay off, as we had one of the highest productivities in the industry. We expanded into 2 new geographic segments in quarter 6, now becoming a global brand with our investments in R&D, marketing, and production, increasing our competitiveness, leading to us having top performing bikes in 3 of the segments with a rating of 90 plus. And we were able to achieve a strategic partnership with Terra Cruiser for 50% of the original R&D cost. As for our quarter 4 through 6 financial results, the revenue growth was very substantial for both quarter 4 to 5 and quarter 5 to 6, with a 3 times increase in 4 to 5 and a double in revenue in quarter 5 to 6. Our gross profit increased steadily, outpacing our expenses growth, giving us a net income of $1,700,000 by the end of quarter 6 and earnings per share of 35. So we became profitable by the end of quarter 6, and this can be seen in a more detailed breakdown in the exhibit to the right of our income statement. So to continue on with our financial results, the cash flow and investments were a big part of our decisions, and there was no emergency loans taken through all 6 quarters, which was a bonus for us. And our ending cash balance trends were looking a little uneven for the first few quarters, but kind of leveled off by the end in quarter 6. Because at the start of quarter 4, we had 2.5 million in investments and 500,000 in loans from the bank, giving us the highest cash balance starting out. But much of that went to investments, leading to only 2/3 of that value by quarter 5. But we were able to retain 100,000 by quarter 6. And this can be seen on the next slide in our cash flow statement. This gives a more detailed report of all of our specific spendings for quarters 4 through 6 and our ending and starting balances. And finally, for our financial results, we'll look at the balance sheet for quarter 4 through 6. We maintained a positive cash balance while increasing our long-term assets. We minimized debts with no conventional or emergency loans. And our retained earnings had a slight decline from quarter 4 to 5, but it was always able to stay above -2 million. And we saw a significant rebound in quarter 6 with an addition of 1.5 million to our retained earnings. Looking ahead, we'll likely build on our financial momentum that we've seen by scaling productions and operations to prevent stockouts, and we'll make more strategic R&D investments in the future.
Okay, so our best products and ads through the previous 3 quarters. To start, the bike that brought us the highest demand in quarter four was our speed bike, the XCarbon Speed V2, which was tied for first in brand judgment with a rating of 74. And then although our speed bike or our recreation bike was the highest rated at 78, it did not bring us the most money, even though we had the highest brand judgment. And then our ads, we were tied for first in ad judgment with a rating of 78 for our recreation bike. And going along with that, our theory was a little goes a long way because compared to other companies, we had very little in our ad judgment. And up until quarter six, we did have some of the best ads on the market. With less than what other companies had put in them. And then with quarter six or quarter five, our recreation bike was tied for first in brand judgment with a rating of 84. This caused a net demand of 1,579, and it also brought us a sales revenue of $1,588,186. Our highest ad copy judgment for recreation. Um, it was in two ads. Both recreation ads were rated at a 79, which led the industry in recreation ad judgment. Like I said before, less is more. We had fewer things than other people and other companies. And with that, we were only one of two teams to have local salespeople inserted into our ads. Going along with quarter five, our investments in R&D is what set us apart from almost every other company. We were able to invest and put decals and hybrid tires on our bikes, especially the recreation bike. The hybrid tires really helped us with that brand judgment. And in quarter five, we also made investments going into quarter six for the wet and dry discs for the brakes, the carbon fiber drop down bar for speed bikes, the performance bike computer, the large mesh folding tote basket, and the sustainable packaging. And like Julian mentioned before, we also made a deal with another company so we could get the enhanced carbon fiber. And then in quarter six, this is where we really took off due to our R&D investment. As you can see on the left, we had the highest rated bike in each category, with our rec bike being rated 96, our speed bike being rated 90, and our mountain bike being rated 95. We were the only company to have any bike over a 90 rating, and we led the industry with the highest ratings in every single bike. This quarter, we had a sales revenue of $7,239,959. And honestly, this was due to our R&D investments that we made in quarter five, because they paid off, because a lot of other teams and companies did not use the R&D that we used, such as the tote basket. We were the only team to have that on our recreation bike. And we were also the only company to have the performance computer on our mountain bike. And like it says, our ad inserts were placed well. We had the most inserts out of any company in ads, which led to us having a total demand of 11,368, which was higher than any other company. And then our strategy for quarter seven and beyond is to honestly keep improving our R&D, since this is what led us to having the highest brand rating. Some things that we could research is the superior carbon fiber compared to the normal enriched. And then we could keep investing in more tires like the mountain bike tires and speed, and then also the other handlebars that we did not invest in. Another thing that we look forward to doing is keeping our employees happy. Like Julian said, we ran at a 90% capacity with overtime, meaning our employees were getting their job done and obviously they were happy. And with that, we're going to make sure their salaries go up as our revenue goes up. And then, like Julian mentioned before, we lost many sales of stockouts. So we want to try to stay consistent with manufacturing as we have done through the previous 3 quarters. Um, and so we don't want to lose any more bikes to stockouts. And then another thing is keep up with system improvements. We want to keep up with system improvements and let our customers and employees know that everything we are doing everything we can to make our community and environment a better place and healthy. We want our community to feel like they're making a good choice when they buy our bikes. And then, like I said, we want to, or like Julian said, we did follow a lot of our goals and strategies, but we look forward to keep improving the system that we made, and we want to stay true to our goals and our mission statement and make sure that we do what we set out to do. And then with that, with the increase in sales, we want to hire more sales and service people. As demand keeps rising, we're going to need more people. And we don't, even though we don't want our employees to compete, we want to continue and grow and make sure that we are able to keep up with demand.
All right, so some of our critical decisions and financial outcomes from quarter four to quarter six. Quarter four, we were dealing with a lot of stock outs and we're trying to grow our company. So we realized that we didn't have enough 3D printers, so we invested in 4 additional ones, increasing production to 32 units a day, which is about 2,080 a quarter. And stockouts were out about 794 at this quarter. But our gross margin was still improving because as a business, we were still growing. In quarter five, we signed a huge license deal with Terra Cruiser, like they both talked about before. It was really a turning point for us because it let us get in the mountain bike industry. And we also added 3D printers. Stockouts still rose this quarter because 3D printers don't fall till the next quarter. So they still rose to 857, but gross margin grew to 530,000. And in quarter six, it finally showed our profitability surge. We expanded capacity and launched a mountain bike segment with enriched carbon fiber, thanks to Terra Cruiser and the licensing deal. And stockouts finally reduced to 144 because we fixed that operational and fixed capacity. Our units sold reached 3,342, and our gross margin hit 2.5 million, which was huge for XCarbon. Some lessons learned and key takeaways. On day one, when we all met together, we really talked about how we were in it for the long term. We weren't going to jump out the gates quick, and we wanted to grow progressively over time and be the best business towards the end, which is what we did. And we focused on sustainable growth, balancing agility with future goals. And the key takeaway from this is our long-term planning drove our profitability and leadership. We all worked together greatly to become profitable by quarter six, which was huge. Another key takeaway and lessons learned was the team collaboration, adaptive culture. We communicated well, and our flexibility helped overcome challenges. In order to be successful, the business has to work together. You can't have coworkers who don't get along. So a collaborative, adaptive culture fostered our innovation to become so great. The third one is commitment to continuous improvement. As you can see, as they talked about before, we really weren't doing well around quarter three and quarter four due to the stockouts. We were missing out on a lot of sales, but we analyzed that and we realized what we needed to do and fix that. So our constant analysis and refinement of processes ensured growth. Fixing those stockouts and buying those 3D printers was a great investment for us. And the key takeaway from that is our ongoing improvement keeps us ahead of competitors, and XCarbon was a top 3 business in the class, as shown before. Number 4 is smart financial management. Our disciplined investment strategy supported profitability. That $2.5 million investment we got, we didn't just throw it all away. We decided what we want to do with it and invest in R&D, which was probably the best decision for us as we needed some of those things. And the key takeaway is that strategic investments and cost control ensure financial stability. So we need to be responsible with the money that we got in investments, and that way the investors will be happy too in the end. And lastly, the customer-centric approach we took when we were choosing goals towards the beginning. We talked about what we wanted to focus on, and we talked about how customers come first. And We were responsive to the market trends and customer needs. Towards the end, every quarter talked about what's happening in the market and what cities will be popular and what customers want. So our key takeaway from that is customer focus strengthens brand loyalty and market position, and our brand loyalty was one of the best in the class, and we did really well with all those things. So
Thank you for taking the time to listen to us.
thank you guys.
Thank you.